Hello everyone, this is Subbu. Today we have Ivneet, a technology leader, many years of experience in the fintech and technology space. She has worked in very large organizations and solved complex problems. In this session, you will learn how to plan your career by watching how Ivneet has shaped her career, and you will learn the challenges that you might face in your career in the long term and how to overcome some of those challenges as well. And you can also learn how to navigate this ever-changing technical landscape. You need to have seen quite a bit of changes in this technical landscape in the last 20 plus years, and you will learn how to navigate through those changes and stay on top of it. Ivneet, it's a privilege and a pleasure to have you in my podcast. I would love to have introduce yourself and talk about some of the key things that everyone should know about you.
Thank you, Subbu. It's a pleasure to be here, and as you know, I have a ton of respect for you. So when you asked me to do this, I was really pleased, and I hope that we can talk about things which in our careers which will benefit other women and generally other people in the technology space. So by the way of introductions, I am currently I serve as the CIO and CTO for one of the world's largest and leading identity and background check services and product providers. I am responsible for their global technology, data, and security functions. And then before that, I've held CTO and CIO roles globally for financial services as well as fintech companies. And I have worked in industries spanning from marketing to fintech to general technology products. And my passion is to drive change. That is what I enjoy the most. Get somewhere, figure out what the problems are, solve those problems, and set things to be in a way where they are sustainable and the change can continue long after I am not there.
Awesome. This is great. I'm enjoying already what I'm hearing. To be honest, if I was just starting my college, everything that you said would be intimidating me for now. So I think one thing I would love to learn is a lot of people are not in your shoes. So can you walk us through how a typical workday of a CIO or a CTO looks like? What is the job responsibility of a CIO or a CTO of such a large organization?
But one is that you have to just get comfortable with the fact that there is no typical workday. Things are going to be fluid and dynamic. And for me personally, the key is to be organized and yet flexible. In any workday, it is usually, for me, it consists of strategic as well as tactical conversations. As I said, I am responsible for tech security and data at a global level. So it might be client conversations, it might be a board meeting, it might be a meeting with the CEO, it might be a meeting with the team to solve a problem. It might be a discussion around AI on how we are going to use it to solve our problems, or it might be as small as a customer feature is not getting delivered. So what are we going to do about that? So it's a very wide spectrum of things throughout the day, which can be strategic, which can be tactical. So that's how the day goes. So I do try to be organized, but I am also very flexible, knowing that I don't know what the day will bring. But a couple of things that I do is that I take some breaks every day. When I think about the steps we need to take for the future, whether it's from a talent perspective, innovation perspective, process improvement perspective, as I'm going through all my meetings and conversations, the things which keep running through my mind is, okay, how do we not have the same problem again? How do we do this better? So keeping that at the back of my mind while having all these different conversations is very, very helpful.
This is great. One immediate thing that comes to my mind is, do you have weekends and holidays? Like, it looks like there's a lot of work. So tactical, strategic, and thinking about team. How do you check out on the weekends? Like, can you stop thinking about it and have a good weekend and holiday? How do you do it?
I do. I didn't used to. So, and I learned the hard way. So I hope that anybody who is listening to it will not make the same mistakes that I did. In the beginning of my career, for the longest time, I did not take weekends and holidays. I worked all the time, and we'll talk more about that a bit later too. But now I'm very protective, if you will, of my weekends and holidays. I practice yoga multiple times a week. And then during the weekends, I actually do longer yoga practices, maybe a couple of hours and other workouts. And then fortunately, we also live very close to the beach. So at least one day during the weekend, we do go for a long beach walks. And then I like to read books. So I like to read a lot of fiction. And that helps me check out a lot as well, along with my workout practice. But I am very watchful of making sure that I am not spending all my weekends or holidays working. There are circumstances when you have to do that. But I try to make sure that for both me and my team, that is not the norm. That's not how we structure ourselves from a work culture or from a team perspective.
How do you prioritize? Because prioritization is key. Even if you want to go for a weekend to a beach, you still have to plan something or do something. And weekdays, you still have to prioritize. What is that you do to prioritize on the strategic tasks, tactical tasks? What do you recommend on prioritization?
Actually, I would say it's a lot more simpler. I've simplified it a lot more. And
Okay.
I use the same principles for both life and work. And I think of them as two simple principles. So I will think about, or I will watch, are things generally moving in the right direction based on the long-term vision that I have? And then on a daily basis, so that's what I do from a strategy perspective, and I'll break it down a little bit more for you. And then on a daily basis, at the end of the day, I will spend 5 minutes thinking, did I accomplish most of what I wanted to from both a personal and professional perspective, and did things move forward? So I do take stock of both the long-term things and the day and my day on a daily basis. So let me kind of break it down for you. When I was young, I had a very fixed view of what my life and what my career should look like. I was very much like X should happen in Y years, and that's when I would feel like I am happy and or successful. I did not know how to enjoy the process, and I did not take good care of my physical and mental well-being. But thankfully, as I've grown older, I have learned to be more flexible and fluid. And I consider taking care of my physical and mental well being as one of the most important things in life. I've realized that if you do that, a lot of other things fall in place. I've also learned to say no to doing things which don't add value to my life personally or professionally. And that goes for things as well as people. So I've become very picky about, I would say, where I spend my time. I still have a long-term vision and goals from both my personal life and career perspective, but I'm enjoying the journey more. I am not, my thought process has changed from I will only feel okay once I get there versus let's enjoy the process itself more. So I would say make sure that you're spending at least a few minutes every day to kind of take a stock of your day, because then you have the opportunity next day to make a change. Every day is a new day, so you can make a change if the previous day didn't exactly go the way you were thinking or things you were not able to do. But have that flexibility, be okay with that. And then make sure that you do have a long-term vision. And the long-term vision can change every few years, by the way. It doesn't have to be something you thought what you were going to do at 20s, something same thing you will do when you're 40. But you have to have like a North Star, the way I think about it is. And then the path to the North Star is not always going to be straight. It's going to go through many highs and lows. But generally, if you're moving in the right direction, then I would say I personally would consider that as a win. And that's how I think about life, both tactically and strategically. And that's how I prioritize.
This is great. Just to kind of recap or summarize, focus on the means, focus on the process, not on the goals. That's number one. Second is you mentioned about taking breaks. That helps to kind of focusing on the mental and physical health also helps prioritize things. One help I need is one guidance. I think that I would like to know is when to say no, when not to say no.